welcome to the Gray Area Comedy Podcast. Gary Sharp, Jim K. We have a great, illustrious guest today. Hilarious comic. He has a lot of shit going on. We're going to talk about the awesome Rob Stant, everybody.
Hey, thanks for having me.
What's up?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Good, man. Can't complain.
Been better, dude. I'm drinking Heineken Zeros.
You guys are doing
Sunday
dry
night.
January.
Yep.
It's bullshit.
It's I don't like it. I'll be honest.
No, it's not fun, but
I had to give my liver a break. I was like I was saying before we started. I drank I think from October 1st until New Year's, like every day.
yeah.
Now, were you drinking heavy every day though, or you're just like a drink like you have 2 drinks at a show kind of thing, like?
Yeah, but then that would turn into like 3 drinks at a show, and then I'd go home and I'd be like, well, I got Miller in the fridge. I'll have one of those, and I'd be like, oh, I'm out of Miller now. I guess I'll have tequila. So yeah, I was going pretty hard every day.
Do you get on stage like bombed ever or no?
Oh, sometimes.
Like
yeah.
hammered?
There was a couple times. Yeah, like.
Oh shit! Hell yeah.
Yeah, it depends, like on the vibe, I guess, and but I mean January I've been doing shows sober, and
how's that?
It's good. It's weird because I had one good show where I was sober, and I was like, oh fuck, does this mean I have to do it sober all the time now? And then I had another show where it's like I could definitely tell I was off, and I was like, okay, maybe a drink. Like I think maybe I just need to find a happy balance of like 1 or 2 drinks.
Yeah. 7 shots.
Yeah, 7 shots of tequila.
Yeah.
Two beers is my happy place. Like for some reason, I have 2 and I just feel great. I'm ready to go. And then after the show, I can drink more, obviously. But like 2, one stage, I feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like 4.
I think I'm trying to think of how much I've had. There's a couple of times where I've been at Helium. I've just had like. I don't know, at least 10 Miller Lights. Like maybe not before I go up, but just
Yeah, I mean I've only gone up like hammered a couple times.
Yeah.
It's just super high peaks and then super low valleys.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like you'll be like, oh dude, that went well, but you also don't really know how well it went until you like watch a video.
They
back
say
or
when you're
something,
drunk
like,
on stage, like you're having more fun than the audience is having.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's
So it's
probably like it can be a lot of fun. But then,
yeah, sure.
yeah, if you like lose your place or something though, good luck.
I've definitely had a couple of sets where I'm like, that was great, and then I watch the tape and
you're
I'm
like,
like,
nope.
oh, I was hammered.
That was not good at all.
Yeah, I had a couple of those, but yeah.
You
just
also
have fun.
you're not afraid to try new stuff on stage, which I admire about you. Like you'll try new stuff, and if it doesn't go well, it doesn't go. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm terrified to try new stuff in front of a crowd. Nah, and like maybe I'll do it, but I gotta really like talk myself into it, kind of thing.
Yeah, if they don't like it, then it is what it is. You just kind of have to play it off. Like I did last show I think I tried like a new bit and it didn't do well. I think I was halfway through a story and I was like, you guys fucking hate this, and then they laughed and I was like, all right, we'll talk about something else.
Yeah, it's always the best thing to do, though. Yeah.
And then another time I did like some like really stupid joke that I just wanted to try and just silence, and I was like, all right, well they're not all going to be winners. And then that got, I think as long as you just have to be on the same page with the audience. If you're up there and you're like, oh well, this should be working, why aren't you guys laughing? Like, because it's not ready yet. But but I mean, dude, just like there's so many open, like I probably wouldn't do it as much if like there just weren't so many horrible open mics. Like
that's
around.
the thing.
It's hard to get a good read on an audience, there's
never an audience.
Yeah, exactly.
Normally, there's no audience at an open mic. Yeah.
So I always like if I'm doing unless it's like high risks or whatever, but like if I'm doing like just like a showcase or something, or like or hosting or just doing something, just dicking around, I'm like, I'll try one new joke, as long as I don't like, as long as it's like not like, I won't do all new, but I'll start with like shit that's been working and be like, all right, let me sprinkle this in the middle, see how it does. And
Yeah, I've been trying to do like a new joke at each show.
Yeah.
Or like a new tag, something for the same reason, because like there's not enough mics that you can actually get. Does this work? The 7 comics in the room laughed. That doesn't mean anything.
There's sometimes I've had jokes where like it worked really well at an open mic and then it bombed at a show, and the opposite where I'm like I know like if I don't have any new material, I'll be like, I'll go back and do some old shit if I'm at a mic or whatever.
Sure.
And none of it does well, and I'm like, okay, well, this just goes to show that you can't use mics as judgment for like your material, really.
It's why I've been talking to like bigger comics too, and they're like, there's certain jokes that'll work at like a bar show, but those are not going to work in like a packed like theater. You know what I mean? It's like just different jokes for different venues, kind of thing. But anyway, this is a good segue into. I really want you to tell this story. We talked about this before the show. Mm-hmm. We're talking about this because you are a great writer. I'll say that. This is my opinion. I think you're an awesome writer.
I think you're okay.
No, and it is something to be admired when it comes to comedy. And but there are some comics who are not original, who do not write, and fuck those comics. Yeah. And I've seen you personally call someone out to their face at a show after they had a great set, but none of their shit was original. So do you want to tell the story?
Yeah, I did a show. I put it on my YouTube, but I think I ended up taking it down. But we did a show, local show, and this guy, I think I was also bitter because I had a mediocre set.
But you tried new stuff.
Right, yeah. I was doing new shit, and it was like going meh, and it was like an older crowd, and I was just off that night. And then I got off, and then the quote-unquote headliner went up and did
he did 20 minutes, but headliner.
He did 20 minutes of, like, the first couple, like, I had seen him before at open mics. So he had, like, he was, like, this older dude. I'm not going to say his name. He would do, like, he would go out to open mics, and he would just do jokes you could find on, like, Reddit.
I mean, just verbatim.
Yeah, like word for word. Like if you go on r/jokes, I was literally Googling his jokes while he was on stage.
Yeah, I was doing it, Googling live his joke, like the punchline as he's doing the setup to the guy who ran the mic. Yeah, and he was kind of heartbroken. He's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah, but he was crushing.
Yeah, I've never seen him not crushed. To be honest,
he was crushing. Obviously,
this is a tall crowd. He was crushing.
Yeah, it's an older crowd. He's like fucking like Jeffrey Dahmer. Remember him when he was eating Five Guys before it was a restaurant and shit like that. Literally like memes, like doing memes on stage.
Blowing the roof off the place.
Yeah, because dude, you can't write a joke funnier than a good meme. Yeah. It's not possible. Yeah. Dude, memes.
That's why they go viral, right? I mean,
every time, like the last like 10 times I've like cried laughing were because of a stupid fucking meme.
But hold on, please finish the story.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, and that's just so he got off stage and I was pissed. I recorded his whole. I was like, fuck this, I need to get this on tape. So I recorded his whole set. It was definitely like a bitch move. Like, it wasn't a bitch move, but it was like a wham for me to be like, but he got off stage, and I had a couple beers in me, and I walked up to him. I was like, you didn't write any of that shit. I was like, you Google, like all that shit I was able to find on Google. And dude. I was just, and his family was like around. I guess he told his family he was headlining. So all his family's like, that was so good. He was so funny.
Man, by the way,
he's a middle-aged man,
dude. He's like
he might have a little bit of the tism too. So I feel bad.
God, yeah.
I do feel bad in hindsight. Like I was just so pissed at the moment. I was like, I made a whole thing out of it. Yeah, but I walked up to him because I think writing is the most important part of comedy. If you're not gonna write, if you're just gonna go do somebody else's shit, that's what anybody could go on stage and tell jokes that aren't theirs and get a laugh. That's not the hard part. But so I went up to him. I was like, "Well, you didn't write that? I googled all of it." He's like, "No, that's all. You can find all that on my Facebook. I post." I'm like, "Yeah, you posted on your Facebook, but that's not where it originated. Just because you posted on your Facebook doesn't make it yours or whatever." So then I went home and like I made this whole like YouTube video. Like I didn't drop his name in the video because I guess I gave a little bit of a fuck then, but now I just don't care. And I was like, fuck this guy. He steals jokes. Don't steal jokes. I was like trying to do like this like vlogger style video, and now it's kind of like I took it off because it's kind of cringe going back and watching it. But yeah, I called him out on that shit.
In the moment though, I mean, you were in the right.
I remember you called me that night, and you're like, should I put this video up? And I was like, dude, yeah, definitely do it.
That's why anytime
I never regret this. Yeah, do it. No, it's not a regret. It's like a.
But it was also like I feel like it was kind of fresh around like when we saw him recently at a mic at that time too, where it was kind of like annoying.
And it's also he's taking money out of our pockets because he's getting paid to headline, like, and he's doing fucking jokes that aren't his. It's like that could have been us up there doing something that that we worked for. So that kind of pissed me off. That's why anytime I write a joke and I'm like, has this been done before? I Google it. I go on Reddit. I type it into the search bar on like r/jokes. I'm like, has anybody thought of something similar?
Dude, it's the most heartbreaking because it's always like
when you find it,
it's always like gold. Yeah. You're like, oh my god, all right, it's already out there.
Or like I've had a couple jokes I've posted online and people in the comments are like, this is a joke from this comic, and it's just a pure coincidence that we had the same thought. Like parallel thinking sucks.
And then, do you keep doing the joke?
No, Not really.
You'll stop it?
I'll stop. Yeah, like I did a joke that like about being broke that was extremely similar to one of Louis' jokes. It was like one word off. Like it was really like it was basically his joke. And I was like, I don't know if I saw that and I like put it in my subconscious.
Sure.
But parallel thinking is real. There's a difference between parallel thinking and then like, because a couple people have been like, this is like a Seinfeld joke, and I'm like, I'm talking about my dick, so it's definitely not a Seinfeld joke.
Yeah.
But we're using similar comparisons about something else, and I was just like, I'm not. If it's something like that, I'm like, I'm not taking it down. It's my joke. But like, there's been a couple where I'm like, oh, you're right. That's definitely not an original thought, and I tossed it, and it sucked because I think at the time I was doing it for like 2 or 3 months.
I have one that's the opposite with my big bitch Becky joke that now Sam Talent's, it's his closer, almost word for word.
Damn,
really? I put it online like years before he had it, but there's nothing I can do about it. It's gone. No. I can't do it anymore.
You can send it to him and be like, can I open for you, please?
Dude, almost literally.
Bring me on tour.
I mean, there's parts that are different, but like the punchline and then the tag is like, how? And I was at Helium to see him headline, and I'm with a bunch of friends who've seen me a million times. Like, dude, that's your joke. I'm like, damn. Well, now I'm heartbroken. This sucks.
Yeah, it's rough.
Because like, there's no fighting it. You just go, okay, and I guess I don't have that joke anymore.
Yeah, you don't make a fucking 8-minute YouTube video out of it, like some people would.
Once again, I think you were in the right. And I just want to give you credit. I've never seen somebody, like, in the moment, to someone's face, call them out. Like, that took balls.
That was brought to you by Coors Light.
Hey, man,
any of those. And I just didn't like him to begin with, so that was why I was pissed off. And he was also an old, man. So I was like, I could take him if he wants to get... If it was like somebody who's bigger, I'd be like, that's I'm not worried about that.
I'll wait to get home and post on Facebook.
I was just pissed. I was pissed for 2 reasons, because that wasn't the only show I've seen him get booked on where he was like it's one thing if you go to an open mic and you do jokes that aren't yours. It's like I'm like whatever. Like fucking if that's what you want to do, go ahead. But like if you're doing a paid show or something and you're going up and you're like pretending to be a comedian and taking stage. Every time a comedian gets on stage, they're taking stage time away from somebody else, and that's what pissed me off. I was like, all right, well now I'm gonna say something because somebody else who's talented and writes their shit could be up there. But I'm getting heated, dude. I'm ready to fight. Where's he at? I know he lives around here.
Get into it, man. No, but we take there's integrity in writing. You know what I mean? And there should be 100%. I think I think
Cat Williams did forget to mention him though in his.
He also forgot to mention me and Rob Stant. Mm-hmm. No, we take credit, or there's integrity in writing. I think what am I gonna talk about here? There's the pandemic. So over the pandemic, you just got a lot better. Oh, you were doing a lot of writing over the pandemic.
Yeah, I did a lot.
I met you before the pandemic. Mm-hmm. Over the pandemic, obviously, we were all inside, and you come out, and you're just like one of the best comics in Philly.
Oh, thanks, man.
Can we talk about what happened? Just during that time?
I did a lot of writing. I basically just sat in my room, because my job, I didn't really my job was we'll get to that later, but the job I had at the time was very simple during the pandemic. It was very minimal, work, so I would clock in, and I would just write, it wasn't every day. I would play video games and have lazy days or whatever, but I was so focused on comedy because it was my first. I wasn't even doing comedy for a year, and you remember that first year you're doing comedy or whatever. You're just so excited to be doing it, and I'm like, oh, now's the perfect time. I have so much time to write. Yeah. I read books about comedy. I took workshop classes over Zoom, to try to learn how to write better, how to trim my jokes, shit that, and I just kept doing that, and I don't know, I guess, and then when I got out. When the pandemic ended or whatever, I started doing some mics, and I could just tell that I was getting better at it.
You had that shit rolling when you came out.
Before the pandemic, my first 3 to 6 months was pretty fucking rough. I go back and watch those tapes, and I'm I sound first of all, I sound like a robot because I'm just saying the words that are rehearsed in my head.
Exactly, you memorize them, yeah.
Yeah, which is something I don't do as much anymore. I kind of have I'll have a sentence for what the joke is, and I just try to work it out on stage. I'll be okay, this is a joke about doing nitrous in the Poconos. Here's the
very specific.
Yeah, something like that. Well, it's a new bit I've been working on. Yeah. I've been working on it on stage. I have it written out on my phone, but I'm trying to figure out the wording, what jokes what works better with it and shit. Sure. So I feel like that's one thing that's changed a lot. I don't say the same shit word for word anymore.
You just seem more comfortable up there too. I mean, we all do, right? We're all getting more comfortable. But yeah, before I feel like you were visibly uncomfortable sometimes.
Oh yeah,
I just had this vision of you at Frankie Bradley's in my head, like no hair, buzz cut, and I'm like,
that's another
this
thing.
guy does not want to be up there.
I tell people, I'm like, anytime somebody brings up my hair, I'm like, I used to have a buzz cut. They're like, I could never imagine you. And I show them the picture of me.
Buzz down, baby.
Yeah, I was hanging out with one of my buddies who's not a comedian the other day, and he was like, we've been friends since I was 18. Like, we used to work at GameStop together and shit. And I always had a buzz cut. And he was like, you ever gonna bring that back? And I was like, no, because like I feel like a lot of my jokes and my material revolve around like my current image. Like I do like jokes about like I don't know. I feel like I'd be a different person if I shaved my head and went on stage. I don't know. I'd probably still look like a lesbian, but just a different one. I'd have to get like a nose ring or something to make it really like dye my hair purple.
Don't do that.
Look like one of those they thems, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do a lot of jokes about how you look now?
I used to do it.
I know you used to do it a lot. Yeah.
I just like I'm so like I don't know. I feel like I've grown out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
I have one joke about like getting misgendered that I've been using as an opener recently. And that seems like, it's not like I look like this, but like it seems like a good, because then I also talk about my insecurities about like being short and like, what my wife thinks about it. And like, it's like kind of like a door that opens. Yeah, because I like to start off the set like, talking about myself and like, and then going into other shit.
Showing
like,
people that you're aware,
like
you're
I'm
present, and you're here. Yeah, exactly. That's good stuff, man.
Yeah, that's kind of how I, as of recently at least.
And you got a lot of time to work out new stuff. You guys have a new mic.
Yeah. Fat Lady Brewing in Manayunk. That's on Mondays.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So
you guys been getting the crowd there too.
Yeah, we've had some people show up. It's been pretty good. Yeah, come check it out if you guys are ever in Philly, come check it out.
Yeah, man.
On Mondays.
Are you guys doing a show there too?
Yeah, we got a showcase. Jim's on it. We got to get you on at some point too. So you're on the one in March, right?
You don't have to. Yeah.
You don't have to. 100%. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
No, and you guys got something at Soul Joel's. You got a lot going on, dude.
Yeah.
What's going on at Soul Joel's?
The Bombs Away showcase, which is it's like new material.
Okay.
So comics go up, and the idea is we pitch the show as like, hey, these are comedians. They've never done these jokes to anybody before, so buckle up. And then it's kind of nice because you set the environment for like, okay, like this crowd is here. It's okay if I eat shit because they know it. And like it's cool.
It's kind of nice, because that's a loose like pressure, like a fun.
Yeah, and it's a real crowd. It's a real crowd. And then we do that, and we have a hat. So it's like if you're bombing, you can pull topics out of the hat. That's audience suggestions and shit.
But you're booking the show. It's not like an open mic.
No, yeah, no.
Okay, I was gonna say that sounds like a recipe for disaster to have people like just come try new stuff.
No, yeah, we book comics. We pay them. It's good time.
Fair enough. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I think the next one's in February. I forget which date, but it's a Friday. So keep an eye out for that. Soul Joel's.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Man. So what's up now? So obviously a lot of comedy going on. Are you working right now? This is your comedy, your full-time gig?
I would like it on my best week. It could be my full-time gig, but like there's slow weeks. Like if like my best week was like every week, then yeah, it could be full-time. But as of right now, we could get into getting laid off from my job. You can, but we can get into that later. But
we're gonna talk about that for sure.
Yeah, so
I got a funny firing story myself.
Yeah, so after I got laid off from my job, I kind of like went into this mentality. It's like, all right, this is a sign. I need to dig my heels in and just like really go at it. And like, it's just not there yet. So like, I was like, all right, perfect. I'm just gonna do comedy full time. So I gave my wife a heart attack. I'm like, no, trust me, I'm gonna pay the bills this way.
Yeah, he's like, don't worry. February, I got 2 shows. Yeah, we're fucking grinding.
But the truth is, I mean, so the Fat Lady Showcase, that's a nice check. Yeah. Anytime you produce something, you're always getting like the runoff.
100%.
Whatever, like you pay the comics X amount, and then you're left with whatever's left. Yep. So that's always a nice check. And I'm talking to another brewery right now that's right across the street from my house. So that if I could just get 2 of those a month, that would be a great start. Yeah. And then any shows that like feature spots or host spots or like showcase shows that other comics book me on or like I've been sending out like emails to clubs trying to get spots out there at some local stuff. Any whatever that pays kind of like fills in that
for sure.
But then on the weeks that are slow where none of that's happening, I started just doing like driving for Lyft and shit, because it's like that's nice, because it's like I can just make my own hours. If I need the money, I can just hop in my car and go make some money. Or if it's like if I have to, if you work like a 9 to 5 and then you got a show in New York at 7 or 8, and then you're fucking 4 hours away, and now you gotta leave work early.
Next thing you're like 4 hours PTO or something.
Yeah, and I don't want to invest my time in a company that I'm just not going to give a fuck about. Like the last real interview I had was like a couple weeks ago, and they told me I was overqualified because I have. And I'm not trying to like humble brag. I was actually bummed because I was like, oh, I thought this was gonna be a slam dunk.
Yeah, no, they were like, it was like a help desk 3 times a month. You're overqualified.
No, don't worry, I'll disappoint you. Trust me.
You have dick jokes ready to go? Nah, we can't.
It was a help desk position, and I have 2 master's degrees that I went to school for to get, and they were like, and basically they didn't tell me that like straight out. They were like, hey, sorry, we went with other candidates. I got that email. But then my sister, who was a friend of one of the hiring managers, said he did great at the interview. He was like, there's no reason why we didn't. The only reason we didn't hire him is because we were worried that if he got the job, as soon as something better presented itself, he would take it. Like, we think he's overqualified. And I'm just like, that's just true. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, but fair enough.
I just need I feel like if you're gonna be a comedian and you have a day job or whatever, you need something that is flexible and you can get out the door quick and get to, especially if you're doing multiple cities and shit like that. So
yeah, dude.
Right now I'm just driving for Lyft. I did DoorDash for a little bit. That fucking sucked. I did Instacart, which wasn't bad. It's just annoying because you have to.
Dude, DoorDash, especially now that they seal those bags up, you can't even steal any fries.
Yeah. I did have one cool thing happen though. I picked up a 30-piece Chick-fil-A nuggets. It was literally my last trip of the night before I was ready to go home. I was like, all right, I'll finish up this trip. I'll go home. 30-piece nuggets, and then they canceled the order after I already picked it up.
Oh,
so I just got to take it home.
That's sweet.
I was like, fuck yeah.
Nice.
That was the only positive thing that came out of driving for DoorDash. But Lyft is cool. I honestly I practice my crowd work when I'm driving for Lyft. I'll be like, so what do you do for work? And they're like, oh, I do this or whatever.
Well, when you in the car.
Yeah, and I can't say, a lot of it's like, oh, well, whose dick you have to suck to get that job? It's dumb shit like that. But I don't say it. But I'm thinking in my head
you start typing it in your phone.
Yeah,
hey sir, can you please stop texting and driving me?
Yeah.
I've been seeing these viral videos of the DoorDash drivers who I guess they drop the food off and the person doesn't tip them, and then they'll just trying to take the food back, and I'm like, do you realize we live off of these tips? I saw the one video, the guy actually took the food, put it back in the car, and was trying to drive away, and the person banging on the car.
That's kind of hilarious. I get that.
It's goddamn.
Good for that guy.
He probably lost his job.
Yeah.
I'm sure he did. I mean, you can't do that. That's not part of the...
He's doing Lyft now, too.
So,
no more DoorDash.
The thing that sucks about DoorDash is so you can see, you have an order pop up, and you can either accept it or decline it. And a lot of them are dog shit. It's $4, pick up this McDonald's, take it to somebody's house for $4. You're like, that's not worth it, because most of the time you get to
what are you getting out of that?
You're getting the $4.
Oh, you can see that. You can see
you can see the amount.
The amount.
You don't
they
see
were spending $4.
Yeah. Well, you don't. So you don't see the amount of. So whatever order, let's say somebody buys something on DoorDash, and it costs them $30 with the fees and everything and all that and the tip. You'll see whatever you're pocketing. So it'll say $8 or whatever. And the way they get you to take these shitty orders, because at first I was like, oh, I'm not fucking taking it. I'm just going to wait for good orders to come. But if that was the case, everybody would do that. So what they have is this thing called an acceptance rate, where if you keep your acceptance rate above 90%,
it's genius.
Yeah, you get priority on the higher paying orders. So one time I picked up a $60 Chipotle catering order.
Gotcha.
I literally had boxes of industry-sized Chipotle things in my Toyota, and but that's because but you have to take so many dog shit orders to keep there's days where I'll take all shitty orders and I won't get any high-paying ones, and what the fuck. But at least Lyft, I've had some people tip, some people don't, but they pay you enough to where it's all right, this is kind of worth it. So and you don't have to get out of your car. A DoorDash, you have to find parking, especially if it's in Philly or some shit. You gotta park. Annoying. You have to run in. Half the time the food's not even ready, so you have to wait for them to get the food ready. Then you have to get in the car. Then you have to, if like, sometimes they'll request, like, please hand me the food, do not drop it off. So you got to knock, now you got to wait. But with Lyft, it's just like, you drive to the location, there's a timer, it's 5 minutes. If the 5 minutes run up, they don't show up, you cancel the ride and you still get paid. So it's like, they take care, like, it's way better. So far, it's way better. But yeah, shit like that where, like, you can find that kind of flexibility where you can, like, if you need to be, like...
That's what you need, yeah.
Yeah, if you need to be somewhere... Like, you can.
And you can do it in different states, right? Are you only good to do it in your...
We're going to find out today, because I'm registered in PA, but I'm in Jersey now, so I'm going to turn it on when I leave, I think, and see...
So you can take me home.
Yeah, I'm going to put an order in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm hungry.
I'm waiting to see till I see somebody, like, I recognize, like, because, like, like a comic or somebody, because I did it in Philly the other night, and then I did it in my neighborhood a couple nights ago. It's funny, I picked up somebody from the Grape Room in Manayunk, or like I took them to the Grape Room, and I was like, I actually do comedy like in like near there. I'm like, oh really? And I was like, yeah, and I handed them the card for one of our Fat Lady shows, and I was like, so I've also been like plugging my like comedy in the thing too, trying to like sell tickets. Yeah, fuck it.
Especially if you have a good set in the car with them.
Yeah, and then
if you want to get to your destination, guess where you're going?
Yeah. And
then did you think I was funny? Yeah.
And then they come to the show, and I'm like, so here's why I love drunk driving. Do a joke about that.
No, it's good stuff. So, all right, so let's get into the firing. So, obviously, you're doing this now. Mm-hmm. You had a job previously.
Yeah.
And they
desk job. I had a 7
corporate job, whatever you call it.
Corporate. I had a 7 to 3 job, which worked out perfect because I could get anywhere I needed to with comedy, Monday to Friday. And I was in conference technology, but it was basically kind of like IT and like AV like support and stuff for QVC in Westchester, and it was a great company. I got nothing, don't feel any animosity towards them or anything. Sure. But yeah, I got laid off. It was coming up on a year now, so it was last March.
And how long did you have the gig?
I was there for 4, almost 5 years.
Okay. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was one of 2 people on my team, and they laid me off along with 400 other people in the company who were like unrelated to my team. But yeah, I showed up, and I was surprised it took them that long to get rid of me, because like I would show up like not late, but like I would show up like later and then stay later, and like I just did like a bunch of like they were really flexible with my hours and stuff. But
sure, it's like I'm not late, but later.
The reason they could do that is because I wasn't really needed, so I could just come in whenever I needed to and leave whenever I needed to. So I was like, it was I was like, man, this is awesome. And then it turned out they didn't need me, so that's why they got. So I was 1 or 2 people on my team, and if they had to keep one, whatever their budget was, I understand why they took the other guy, because he had way more experience. He had been at the company for like 10 years. And he knew what he was doing like way more than I did. Like anytime I had a question, I would ask him, and he'd be like, "Oh, we just got to do this, and this." So he was like,
"That sucks, though."
Yeah, but so they walked me down to the office, and they were like, "Hey, man, we're eliminating your position." And I was like, "Oh, that sucks." I was like,
the whole conversation, like straight off the bat.
I sat down. Well, okay, so here's the real thing.
Yeah, what happened?
So all right. So I'll start from the beginning. So I show up to work. I'm in a good mood. Just got a workout in. I'm like, all right.
There you go.
Yeah, it was actually, I think 6 days before I recorded my special.
You know what? I think today's the day. I'm gonna ask for a raise.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask for a fucking raise. I deserve it. I've been working hard.
It's like I just asked my girl to marry me. It's going awesome. I love my life.
It was 6 days before I recorded my special on YouTube. That's out.
Hell yeah!
So we're 6 days.
Shout out to Bobby Boy.
Yeah, 6 days before I recorded that, so I'm excited. Like I've always things I'm excited for. I'm in a good mood, and then I show up, and my boss, who actually ended up getting laid off the same day.
Ooh.
I show up, and he's like in a sour mood, and I'm like, "Hey man," like he's normally like this chipper guy, like really happy, loved his job. He'd been there for 40 years, and I was like, "Hey man, like what's up? Everything good?" And he's like, "Not really, Robert." And I was like, "Oh, is there like anything that I can help with?" And he was like, "Unfortunately not." And I was like, "Okay." And then I sat down and I logged into my team. Before I could even log into my computer, like I got like a hand on the shoulder. I was like, "Hey, they need you down in conference room 2." And I knew that was the HR room, so I was like, "Oh, fuck. Like, I'm in trouble. What did I do?" Right? So I get down to the room, and they have all these papers laid out on the table, and I'm like, this is evidence of something I fucking did.
Yeah.
Because hypothetically, they had this thing called tuition reimbursement, right? Where if you go to school and you show them your receipt for X amount of dollars, they'll reimburse you for it, right? So if you had good Photoshop skills, and if you went to school and your classes cost, I don't know, $1,400, you could say it costs $2,000, $3,000, and then submit that receipt and actually make a profit going to school, hypothetically, if you wanted to. So here I go down to this conference room, and I'm like, man, that would be a really horrible hypothetical thing to get in trouble for. So they have all these papers.
Never do.
Yeah. So they have all these papers laid out, and the HR guy's right there, and I'm like, fuck. So I sit down, and he's like, we're eliminating your position. And I was like, I was like, okay. Okay.
Just that I'm just fired?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, was it something and then I went, is it something I did? And he was like, no, Robert, you're unfortunately one of 400 people who are being laid off with the company. And I was like, oh man. And I'm like, okay. And all the thoughts are going through my head now where it's like, all right, time to double down on like immediately I was like, comedy full time. This is my sign. And then so I was like, he's like walking me through how it's going to work. He's like, okay, so you can qualify for unemployment. Here's your severance package. They hooked it up. Like I got money. Like I got to qualify for unemployment.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was great. And so and then I was joking on the way out. I was like, he's like, if you want, you could wrap up your rest of your workday. I'm like, dude, I'm not doing that. He's like, I get it. And he's like, I was like,
dude, that's insane.
I know. And he goes. I go, well, can I go say goodbye to my boss? Because he's a great guy. He took a chance on me. I was just fresh out of college. I wanted to say thank you. He got laid off too, man. He's already out the door. And I was like, holy shit. And I was like, I said, are they keeping the other guy's position on my team? They said yes. And I was like, you know how much stress he's going to be under without me and him? And like I said to him, I was like, I'm fine with this, but that's going to suck for him. And he was like, I know, but they looked at the numbers and we'll see if it works out or whatever. And so anyway, so I'm leaving. I'm like, and I had keys. I could have stolen so much shit. I didn't, for the record. I did not steal anything. But I joked. I was like, I'm gonna grab a couple TVs on the way out. Is that cool? He was like, Robert. He's like, they're firing me too, dude. He's like, I do not care. He's like, take what you want. He's like, you're not my problem anymore. So, because it was my boss's boss who laid me off, and he was getting laid off. Jeez. So the guy laying me off was getting laid. It was a huge layoff.
Yeah, holy shit.
So I had the keys to the cage. I may have grabbed a couple iPhone chargers, but that's whatever.
You deserve that.
That goes in the severance pay.
Yeah.
But like, dude, we had like lenses for projectors and shit that I could have so much shit that I literally I didn't, for the record, but I was tempted. I was like, damn, I could leave with all this shit. But then I went upstairs and I said goodbye to my coworkers who were also getting laid off. Everybody's packing. I'm like, see you guys. They're like, oh yeah, it sucks. What are you gonna do? But in our heads, we're like, oh, it's always a nice, if you get a fresh start, you're kind of somewhat excited. You're like, okay, well, I got a severance package. I'll get to see, a new job somewhere else or whatever. And
that's a happy ending to that story. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, and they had a cafeteria, and on the way out, I was like, because they have meal vouchers if you do a good job. I was like, yo, can I get some meal vouchers for the cafeteria? They're like, sure. So I literally ate one last big ass meal in the cafeteria for free because they gave me the meal voucher. So I loaded up. Yeah. I brought some chips with me. I'm like, all right, that was not too bad. So
dude, at least they laid you off in the morning too. It really sucked to get through a whole day, a hard day's work, and then they're like, okay, now we need to talk to you at 5.
Yeah. No, as soon as I sat down, they were like, you're done. And then so I did what any normal person would do. I went to the bar down the road, had a couple beers, and I got a phone call from one of the executive assistants. She was this older lady who was really sweet, and she was always nice to me. And I got a phone call and she's sobbing. She's like, because she got laid off and she knew I got laid off, and you would have thought somebody killed her husband or something. Yeah. She was like, so I'm like, it's gonna be fine. She's like, no, it's not. I was like, is this how people feel right now? I was like, I feel great. And then I went home and told my wife, and she thought I was kidding. I was like, she's like, how's work? I was like, well, I got laid off. And she was like, haha. I was like, I got laid off. And she was like, shut up.
You didn't tell her till you got home? You didn't call her on the way home?
No, I'm not going to break that news over the phone. Fuck that. I went and had a couple beers. I'm like,
I'd send a meme.
Yeah.
I think I'd find a GIF.
Yeah. And then I was like, I'm going to do comedy full time, and she just sent her into a full on panic attack. And
said, fuck, we're doomed.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
you said you believed in me. Why are you freaking out?
Yeah.
I was lying.
No, we worked it out. She just gave me she's the boss. I said, as of right now, I'm like, how much money do you want me to make a week, and I'll make it. And she said, this much. And I'm like, okay, I can do that with comedy and driving for Lyft. I also do freelance video editing on the side too. So
hell yeah.
Like I've been editing reels for comics and shit. So that's been.
Do you think I put my porn reels together?
Yeah.
This guy.
So it's all but that's my layoff story.
Well, that is well, man.
Yeah.
I got fired too, and it was not that happy. I didn't get laid off. I got fired.
Yeah, it sucks because you don't get.
You got fired.
Because you don't get unemployment or severance, right?
Hell no. They just fired me. It was my first job out of college. I was on the 3-month probationary period. 2.5 months.
That's how they get you.
They called me into the office. It was like a sales job. I didn't make any sales. I didn't have any leads.
Yeah.
To this day, I think that they. Corporate, the higher ups, headquarters wanted to bring on more people, but they didn't have the clientele for it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I think I was just kind of fucked from the beginning. But they had nothing for me. I was just sitting there every day doing absolutely nothing. 2.5 months in, they called me into the office, and he's like, Gary, I think you know why you're here. And I'm just bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. I had no fucking idea. I'm like,
promotion?
Yeah. I'm like, you want me to do something?
Right.
You have leads for me? I've been waiting to make a sale around here.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you're fired. Dude, I wanted to cry. I was tearing up. I just wanted to cry. I wanted to fight him at the same time. I didn't know what to do. And I had already
settled for kissing him.
Listen, we already had there's this hot dog truck that came to the office every single Wednesday. It was a Wednesday, and I already ordered my hot dogs.
Did you had a sad hot dog?
So I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, but can I eat my hot dogs here?
Yeah, my hot dogs.
He was like, yeah, you can sit here and eat, but then you got to pack up your office and get out of here.
Every time I eat a hot dog in the car, I drop it.
Saddest hot dog I've ever had. I had 2 hot dogs.
You know what that reminds me of?
I should have just left.
The hot dog scenario. That reminds me, if you ever go to a casino and you sit down at a slot machine or the tables, and the lady comes around and she's like, you want any drinks? And because they get free drinks at the casino, you're like, sure, I'll have a beer. And they leave. And then before they can come back, you've lost all your money.
Yeah.
So now you're just sadly waiting.
That's exactly what it's like.
I'm sadly waiting for my... I've had a couple times where I lost all my money through Red Table. I'm like, well, I'm getting my beer. I'm waiting. I'm just gonna...
Carol's coming back.
Yeah, she's coming back.
That Heineken.
Yeah. Or the best is when they come around with they come around the table and they're like, hey, so does anybody want this beer? And I'm like, fuck yeah, I want whatever nasty beer that is that somebody didn't pick up.
Damn, dude, I've been to a casino in a bit.
I love gambling so much.
I'd like to go. It's been a while.
FanDuel's been kicking my fucking ass, dude.
Thankfully, I don't know what I did to fuck up my DraftKings, my FanDuel. I think I sent them a pissed off email when Jake Paul won a fight, and I was like, "Fuck you, this is rigged. I want my money back." I was hammered, and they were like, I think they blocked my account or something. That's why anytime I place a bet, I literally go through Jim as a bookie. I'm like, I want the over under. It's literally uncut gems. I'm texting him. So
that's good.
Yeah, but that's good though, because otherwise I'd be like, sure, what's $10 on this? What's $15? It adds up. But
it does. I gotta stop.
I would rather if I'm gonna gamble, I'm going to the casino and I'm fucking playing roulette or craps. I learned how to play that.
Well, at the casino, it's easier to be like, okay, I'm willing to lose $500 tonight. $500 is my bankroll for tonight. If I win some, cool. If not, I'm gonna get hammered with my friends and. What I just take it as this night costs $500 or whatever it is. This night costs $1,000.
Yeah. I think the way to go to a casino is you go to the if it's Atlantic City or whatever, you bring a bottle into your room. Now you don't have to pay for drinks, so you just fucking drink in your room. And now it's all that money you would have spent on drinks is just money you can lose gambling.
I always do that, but I always end up spending money on drinks anyway. It doesn't you know what I mean. You're just out there. Yeah, that's kind of what you do. It doesn't really matter.
I mean, yeah.
Unless it's dry January and you guys are being
gay.
Yeah,
it's
dude,
gay.
I hate it right now. This fake beer made me want a real beer.
That's what I'm saying. I'm I don't want to fucking drink it. I'm like, no.
It does do the job though in terms of it tastes pretty much like a beer.
So it's like you're jerking me off and I don't get to come.
It is. Bro. I'm getting edged by this Heineken 00.
Is there a little bit of alcohol in there? No. Or is it actually 0? 0.0.
Yeah, drink. Yeah. I love bringing these in the car with me.
I think O'Doul's have a very small amount, but it's less than mouthwash.
Oh, they've got to be going bankrupt now that all these other companies are coming out with 0 alcohol. There's 0 alcohol White Claws. That's just fucking called seltzer.
Yeah, it's just seltzer.
That's just $30 seltzer. That doesn't make any sense. You want a $30 pack of seltzer? It's gonna taste like a shittier version of seltzer. Yeah. Why would you want that?
That's great.
I hate White Claws now. I used to like them when they came out. I was like, oh, these are refreshing. It's like
I'm still on board,
dude,
man. I love me a good White Claw.
I don't know. I hate the smell of them. Yeah,
lemon lime, baby.
I like the fizzy.
Lime,
what's it called, Vizzies or whatever? Fizzies.
Yeah.
They have an orange creamsicle flavor, and it's fucking banging.
I would not like that. I don't like orange creamsicles.
No, that sounds gross.
I love it. Fucking love it. And why don't you guys relax? Okay, I'm feeling a little bit in judgment here.
So are you also like working out more, or are we just doing dry January? Are you like in the gym? What's going on?
Trying to get in the gym.
Yeah.
It's like my bills have been sneaking up on me recently, so it's like if I'm not doing comedy or I'm not sleeping, I'm just like driving or whatever, trying to make up whatever more income I need. I went to the gym today though. I had a little bit of time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get back in the mix and like just try to be healthier in general. I stepped on the scale like January 1st. I was 230. I was like, that is unacceptable. I was like, it's the heaviest I've ever been, and I can't even be like because like when I was like bodybuilding or whatever, I'd eat like pizza.
Were you like a heavy lifter at one point?
Yeah, I was like my I
didn't know you were a gym bro.
Yeah, I was my deadlift. I had like a 405 deadlift. I had a 240 bench, like just for one, both just for one though.
Hell yeah.
But like
that's good weight though.
Yeah, but when I was actively bodybuilding, if I gained a couple pounds, I'd be like, oh, that's just muscle. Like I had that excuse. But now it's like I haven't lifted weights in like 3 weeks. This is not muscle. Like this is a problem.
Yeah.
You're getting 33 pounds of muscle this month.
And all I did was drink Miller Lite and play Fortnite.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to be healthier.
Oh, so you were like a gym bro though.
I think I'm just gonna do dry January every year.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, Pop's got diagnosed with liver cancer. It kind of throws a monkey wrench into your drinking. I plan on just being drunk every day for the rest of my life.
Fucking drink, baby.
I will say
can't do that.
I've had way more clean wipes this month. Like, you know,
I don't think alcohol really affects me. I don't.
Oh, dude, if I drink,
food doesn't like. I don't like my dumps are pretty normal.
If I drink a shit ton of beer and like booze, I take a dump. It's like it looks like a murder scene. I'm like, I don't know what I did, but and I was like, is there something wrong with me or is just the booze? And I haven't drank all month. And
there's usually not this much blood. Like some blood, but
I'm also a rough wiper, so that's my thing. I'm like, I get in there, I'm like,
gotta get the peanut butter out of the shower.
I like the cheap toilet paper, like the rough texture. I need the texture. You know what I mean? I don't like the soft.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Because I get a lot of like, they get cotton stuck in there, and then
I like a nice bidet.
I need a bidet.
I got a new one for the black toilet in there. I got to throw it on there.
What? Yeah. Oh, you have the one you can like take off and put on.
Nah. Yeah. Okay. I don't have a separate toilet, like a little Asian toilet that goes there. No.
No, so I had a friend who has that, but he only has like one.
I don't get. You have to get off of one toilet and go squat over another one. That's insane to me.
Well, so a bidet, in my opinion, is like a very personal appliance, right? So he has one, but it's on like the common toilet.
Yeah.
So you let other people use your bidet?
Yeah.
Oh. Do you know how?
Dude, you can use it. It doubles as a water fountain.
It just it just sucks the water and then just spits in your butt, right?
Yeah. Why not?
Bad.
Well, then where's all your fucking shit going?
It doesn't go into the bidet.
It's falling back down.
Do you not know how a bidet works?
I don't think you don't know how a bidet works.
This is hilarious.
It's like a water fountain that shoots up.
It takes all poop and then you recycle it right back into the bidet and you shoot poop.
Gary, you poop. Gary, here's how a bidet works.
Yeah.
You fucking poop, right?
Yeah.
Then you turn on the bidet. And then it takes clean water.
Yeah.
And shoots it in your ass.
And then your shit from your ass gets like water is rushing it out of your ass and down into the toilet.
Yeah, but that doesn't go back into the bidet.
Back into the bidet.
But it's not going to hit the bidet at all, you don't think, on the way down from your ass to the toilet?
I mean, theoretically, it could.
Gross.
All right, don't put logic onto this.
That's disgusting. That's what I'm saying.
Nah, dude, you're not.
When it's hitting your asshole, you don't care. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, dude,
you don't care about the logic.
You can lose 30 minutes quick.
It's like having.
Trust me.
Right.
It's like having unprotected sex. You're like, I don't care what's gonna happen, but this is awesome.
Does it feel that good though?
Bidet, yeah. Go try it.
Well, I don't have it set up.
Oh, you don't?
I redid that back.
Why am I here?
Stan's about to end the podcast.
Why am I here?
Dude, but it's great. Like, everyone's into like cold plunging now, dude. You just put
that's a
bidet
thing.
on cold.
Yeah.
That's better.
Or
you turn into a popsicle real quick, but it sets you up for the whole day. You don't even have to go to the gym.
He'll wake you up.
Yeah. You don't have to eat liver.
That's a
nothing.
whole
you just
thing.
cold bidet right up your ass.
I've heard good things about the bidet. Might have to look into it.
I mean, save on toilet paper.
So you don't wipe at all?
No, I wipe.
The idea is, it's pretty gay. You're like, how come I need to make my asshole feel really great and like clean it out? And
it feels incredible.
Well, I heard the analogy. Somebody was like, if you got shit on your arm, would you just wipe it off with a paper towel, or would you fucking wash your arm? And you wash your arm, so that's why you should be using a bidet.
It just feels good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more hygienic.
You don't even have to shit to use it.
You sit down.
I pee. Sometimes I sit when I pee sometimes just to use the bidet.
That's great.
It is annoying though having one because everyone's like, "Oh my god, I've never seen one." And then they hit the knob and it fucking squirts on the wall. I'm like, dude, you gotta sit down first. Put your mouth over it.
Yeah,
it is pretty great. The Helium in Buffalo has a bidet.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, holy shit. I was like,
that's awesome.
I was like, can we get you anything? I'm like, black coffee. I need to shit. Give me black coffee. I need to take a shit. I had cheeseburgers and I washed it down with like 6 cups of coffee. I was like, I'm pooping here. I'm pooping here, and I did. I also had a 6-hour car ride home, so I was like, I'm definitely getting this shit out of me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what were you out in Buffalo for?
I was featuring for Liam Cola.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Not to brag, broke even with the check I got on gas. So.
Come on, baby. Yeah. That's a far drive.
Yeah.
Shit.
6 hours. But it was fun. I'd never been to the club before, so I wanted to check it out. I was like, this is a perfect opportunity.
Is it better than our Helium?
No, I like Philly better, and that's nothing against the one in Buffalo.
No, I'm sure they're both great.
I think it's also I'm just biased because it's like I have so many memories there.
For sure.
But I think the room's cool. The green room's a lot smaller, which is like whatever. But
that's tiny then.
Yeah.
I would say Helium
is very tiny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not big.
Yeah. But it's cool. It's a really good venue.
Hell yeah! You guys had a packed show?
Yeah. Liam sold a bunch of tickets. It was cool. I was happy to be a part of it. Yeah.
He's a funny dude. I haven't seen his stand-up really, but his videos.
He has that sketch show, Almost Friday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's very like college bro humor.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty funny.
Hey man, you're going viral. You're putting asses in seats. Nothing much more you can ask of you.
It's funny how like that's like how where comedy is right now. It's like it doesn't even matter. Like, not to say Liam isn't funny. He's really funny, but like there are some people who are just doing comedy because they can sell tickets. Like like moms that are going viral on TikTok.
Oh my god!
Who like
the fucking moms, dude. The moms.
Moms going viral on TikTok, and they can sell out
with these fucking moms.
And now they can sell out of Helium or some shit. You know?
They're selling. Comedy's always been about selling. It's always been about the venues making money. It always has. Now it's just a different way of going about it.
Right, and it used to be like in order to get popular enough to sell out, you had to be a comedian and these clubs and shit. And now it's like, oh, you have 80 million followers on TikTok. Oh sure, yeah. Come bring 200 people.
Well, could you imagine if that little fucking kid who likes to open up toys on YouTube wanted to bring that to Helium?
Probably could.
They would never book another comic. They'd be like, you could just do this every day.
Yeah, I mean, like
unfortunately,
we're sold out 3 years in advance to watch Ryan open up the Transformer.
Dude, 100%.
Yeah, it's just
I mean, I get it. They just want to make money. That's
more power to them. I mean. But it's almost like a meet greet. I've been around some of them, and it's like they don't give a fuck about the show. They're just like staring in awe of this person they've been following and then the meet and greet is where they're like pumped because they're like, I get to meet them.
But so how was the show? Are they laughing or is it just kind of like
some of it? Yeah, I mean some of it. Like I did one show and it was this guy who was like I did like a guest spot or whatever on this one show at Punchline. This guy who was like. He's really like his content's really good. I'll say that, but like it didn't translate well to the stage. Like he would do like parody raps, and online it's like it was really really good.
I really hate it.
But they like some Bo Burnham kind of stuff, or?
Kind of, okay. but like with no like Bo would do something and there'd be like breaks in time for like punchlines and stuff.
Sure.
But it was just like straight. He would just rap an entire song, but like as a parody of it, and it works really well online. But like,
because you can edit it and
but they started the show. They had a comedian host. They had a comedian. It was all comics, and then he was headlining, and then the headliner was this guy who does parody songs. And the shift, everybody was like confused. They were like, like what's going, like what, like why is this like? But it was happening. But it was like, but it was also people who came there to see him. So I'm not sure what they expected.
Yeah, you should know.
Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting to see how different that is now, I guess.
Yeah.
How much social media has been like, oh, well, if you can make us money.
It's so weird too, because you'll see like people like TikTok or Instagram or whatever, and it'll say like comedian in their bio, and they don't even do stand up.
Yeah,
it's just from like I'm a TikTok comedian.
Yeah,
it's a weird prospect.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've delayed. I still haven't gotten a TikTok. I kind of.
You got. I mean, you just have to do it.
Nah, I hate China.
TikTok is where I post all my bullshit.
They're coming for us.
They are, but they've already come for us.
This was made. Came. You know where this was made?
China. Fucking A, dude. They've infiltrated your home.
I know.
Look at that.
I'm Chinese.
Wait till you see my penis.
State, you're doing a lot of like headlining now. I'm seeing you got like headlining dates. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are you like selling tickets? Do you find that you're having a following? You have a pretty large following online as well.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like. I'm not like selling out or anything.
Yeah,
like I've had some
people to see you.
Yeah, it's cool. I've had like people come out to see me, which is fun. I think some of it is the draw of the club, and then the other part of it is people coming to see me. But like
it's all gradual. I mean, you're working your way up there. That's how you do it.
It sucks because like if everybody was all in one spot, I could sell out. But it's I have my email list, and it's like Ontario, Canada, Brazil, it's like 4 people here, 4 people there. It's like I'm like, if you guys could all be in one spot, that would be awesome.
You're
but it's like
people. So when can you be in Buffalo? Can you come here, please? Yeah,
like Denver, like Austin, Louisville, Kentucky. I'm like, can you guys just pick one spot to be like? If everybody on the East Coast was just my biggest fans, that would be the best.
Sure.
But I've been doing some headlining just to like see if I can do it, and it's been going really well. And I just. I don't know. It's just been going really. I'm just really happy with how everything's been going.
Yeah, dude, hell yeah.
I'm trying to do shit that I haven't posted online, and like stuff that I have that's not in my special. So like if people do come out to see me specifically, it's something that they haven't seen before on social media, which is like another problem I have with like social media. Is like it's like I want to post my jokes because I want to get followers and I want people to know I'm funny, but also it's like now they're coming to see you. Like it was like it's now they're going to know all of your jokes, or like that's why like now I've been posting like crowd work or like podcast clips and shit like that.
Crowd work's pretty. I mean, obviously it's very popular to post crowd work, but I'm finding people. I mean, they tell me anyway. Like I posted a couple jokes online, and people have come to see me do those jokes.
Oh,
like, they want to see you do that stuff live. You know what I mean? Because they enjoy it. That's part of the reason they're following you. Is part of the reason they came out is because they saw that, they liked it, and they want to see you do it. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't get too caught up in.
Now, also
trying to do new stuff.
Yeah, maybe I'll start posting like
or stuff they haven't seen.
It's also like a mentality thing. Like I get in my head about it. Like if I step on stage and I post it, I'm like, who here like is gonna see this punchline coming?
Yeah,
and I think what also fucked with me is I did do a show, and afterwards somebody walked up to me like, who was like, hey man, like I follow you online. I came out to see you. I really enjoyed the jokes, even the ones I've seen. And the way they said it, I was like,
it didn't sit right.
Yeah, I was like,
it's a little backhanded.
Yeah, I love the great set. I love the jokes, even the ones I've seen. And I was like,
that's a weird comment.
And then when the host was like giving me shit, he was like, reusing material, huh? I was like, yeah.
Dude, there's people who use material for 10, 20 fucking years. I mean,
my thing is,
I was at a show recently, and I heard, do you guys want to see me try some new stuff? And then did like their best material. It actually crushed.
It's a decent
tactic. What a good tactic. But I was like, God damn.
It's not bad.
You guys will see me do some new stuff. That's really fun.
Mind if I try some new stuff? Just do your tried and true.
I think if you find trying actually new stuff on stage is fucking scary.
Hell yeah, man!
It's fun though, because if it does work,
nice.
I would not.
And then it never
fun.
like you do it the first time and does well. That's great, and then maybe the second, third time, fourth, like when you get it to like hit hard once, and then it only goes down in terms of like the feeling you get from it.
But I've also had times where I'll try a new joke on stage and it does really fucking well the first time, and then never works again. I'm like, what did I do? That was like made that good. Like I don't know, maybe I was more excited when I told it, but yeah, I get bored of my jokes so quick. I think that's why I write so much, and that's why I try to do new shit. Because like I'll do a joke for like 6 shows, and then by the time I'm like this joke works, but I kind of hate telling it.
To your point, you probably start telling it differently once you don't like it anymore. You know, or you're tired of it.
Another comic told me, he said, watch like anytime you're doing old jokes. watch your set. Like next time you like go over your set, watch it on mute, and you can tell which jokes you fucking are not excited to tell. Mm-hmm. Just watching yourself on mute, like you can tell which ones you're excited to tell, and which ones you're like, all right, let's get through this. I know it gets laughs. I need to fill time. That's another thing. Like when you're like headlining and shit, like if I gotta do like 40 minutes, it's like okay, well I have maybe like 25 minutes of like shit that I haven't posted. Now it's like all right, now we gotta figure out the rest of it. But it's a challenge, and it's fun.
Hell yeah.
Also, I feel like my set is like very much like puzzle pieces. Like I could do it, and like it's just like all right, well I want to talk about this blowjob joke first or this blowjob joke first. And like I always bring my notes on stage with me so I can like glance over and like if I lose track of where I'm at. But yeah, it's fun.
Hell yeah, man. You have like a particular set that went like particularly well recently? Just the time you've crushed like in the past few shows?
I did featuring for Liam was good. That was probably the best set
I've had. A couple banger sets?
Yeah, that was really good. I did 20 minutes of. It was cool because like because I was talking to him and he's like yeah, I saw your stuff online. He's like you're funny. He's like, are you doing any stuff I haven't seen? And I was like, it's funny you say that. I haven't posted any of these jokes online yet. And he was like, really?
Hell yeah.
And he was really excited to like see it. So I was like, it was cool because like. And I did. He's like, so you're doing like new shit? And I was like, well, I'm doing new stuff that you haven't seen.
Yeah, it's new to you.
But I am doing some new shit. And I did like a joke about doing whippets for the first time, and it went really well. It was like a story joke.
That's a great feeling.
Yeah, it went really well. But the ending,
the whippets or the joke.
Both.
Yeah, but I didn't have an ending for the joke yet, so I was like, or the story. So I told the story, and it was doing really well, building so much momentum. And I was like, I realized that I don't have an ending for this joke yet. And then everybody was like, clap. And I was like, okay.
I guess I do have an ending.
I guess that's the ending. Yeah.
That's dope.
But I even told them before I told the story. I was like, all right, I haven't told this story before yet. It was my first time telling it on stage, and I was like, is it cool if I tell it? I was like, it's cool if I try it, and they were like, woo, and I was like, okay, if it sucks, it's your fault.
There you go.
And then they were on board from the beginning. Now they're just rooting for you no matter what. They're like, it's always good when you like. Sometimes the crowd just fucking sucks. Yeah. Like I went through. You ever go through like a streak of really good sets and you're like really good shows, and you're like, I know I'm due for a bad crowd. I know I'm due for a bomb. Yeah. There's one time.
I was hoping that's what you were gonna say because that's exactly how I feel.
Oh,
I'm gonna bomb soon. I have to come soon.
Oh yeah, like probably 3 or 4 shows ago. I had So I had a really good streak going where everything was going well, everything was doing well, and I was like, I'm due for something bad. And then I think like I did like I forget what show it was, but I just didn't do well, and the crowd sucked. And it was at the Improv. I did the DC Improv, and I was doing my best jokes and new jokes, and it was like
how much time were you doing?
I was doing 20.
Word.
I did 20, and I was doing some new jokes, and some of my best jokes, and they were reacting the same to all of it. And I was like, because I use that to measure. I'm like, if my best joke gets a really big laugh, how do the new jokes measure to that? It's like that's kind of the ceiling. Like I'll do my best joke, one of my best jokes, and then all the new shit.
That's your barometer.
Yeah, if it matches, like I'm like, okay, then that's a good joke. But they just were reacting the same to all of it. And the booker was in the room, and I was like, fuck. And I got off stage, and I was talking to her. I was like, so this crowd's weird. And she was like, thank God. She was like, yeah, I was just saying that. I was like, thank God that you're on the same page as me now.
See, actually, they're fucking awesome.
Yeah.
No. Exactly, yeah.
Actually,
you just bombed.
Yeah, it was not great. It was like, because I feel like also when the longer you do comedy, your definition of bombing changes.
True.
And now it's like, if I have you ever have like a mediocre set and you're like, I bombed, and somebody's like, that was really good. And you're like, no, it wasn't. Like,
sometimes the mediocre sets feel worse than the bombs, right? Yeah. Like I'd rather just bomb. At least I know I bombed. Now I'm like, oh, did they hate it? Did they not hate it? Like
do you remember like when you started open mics when you're like 30 and you're like, oh my god, that one joke got a couple chuckles. Like
I crushed.
Yeah, dude.
I crushed. Yeah, I remember.
It sucks because the word just gets overused way too much, and you'll see people like
crush.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. They got 3 laughs. They crushed.
That's why I always feel like I never know how somebody feels about their set, or like, so like I won't be like, unless I know they fucking like they clearly murdered, I won't be like, hey man, good set. Because a lot of times, I think I've told you guys this off mic before, but like I've said that to people and they're like, what do you mean, dude? Like, be honest. Like that's like they get like offended almost.
Yeah.
So now I'll be like, hey man, I really like that one joke.
I remember talking to you. I do that too, where it's like if I can't recall a joke, I'm just not gonna give you a fake compliment. Yeah. It's just disingenuous for me, and that doesn't help you, and you probably can tell that. either I wasn't, present for it, or
I definitely just give fake compliments. I'm like, good set. It doesn't fuck. Like, who am I?
You but that's like saying like,
good set.
Hello. Like, I'd rather say it and mean it. You know.
That's fair.
That's why I never say it to you. No, I'm just kidding.
I've never heard it was like, good set. I don't know. You fucking suck. We all suck, though. Come on.
Yeah.
That was awful. Good set. I've never seen you have a good set, and now you're the judge of good sets. Like, come on, dude, get the fuck out of here.
That's why I just try to stay off of Facebook, dude. I feel like whenever I see anyone post anything, it just either makes me mad or very rarely is it funny.
So
which I feel like social media should only be funny things or like family. Like there should be no like
serious posts.
Yeah, dude, I can't stand the like self-congratulatory bullshit you see from comics. Like, that makes me more mad than anything. Where it's like you're trying to like humbly pat yourself on the back for whatever it is. Dude, I have to stay off it. I get so angry.
Yeah.
So I just stay off of it. I like Instagram. I like looking at butts, and I get like a lot of things about fish.
A lot of butts on the gram.
I think one of the best pieces of advice I got in comedy, it was actually this guy, Miles Weber, who's a comedian. And it's funny because like, it was like I was on a cruise, and it was when I was like, right before the pandemic, I was maybe like 3 months into comedy. And he was doing cruise shows. And I watched his show. He crushed. It was awesome. And I messaged him on Instagram while I was on the boat. I was like, "Hey man, just watched your show. I'm a comedian. I'm on the boat. Can we sit? Like, could you give me can we hang out? Could you give me some advice? Yada yada." And he was like, "Hey man, meet me at this coffee shop." Sure. So I showed up. It was him and his wife, and they're sitting down waiting for me. And I showed up. He was really nice. He sat down. He gave me a bunch of advice. And one of the best pieces of advice he gave me, he was like, avoid drama. He was like, avoid drama. He's like, that's the number one thing that's going to get you in trouble. It's like, you're on Facebook, people are talking shit. You might feel necessary to chime in and like give your 2 cents because it feels good. That's why there's been so many statuses where somebody's bitching about something, and I'm like, I want to be like, fuck you. Like, I'm just like, no, like, what am I going to get out of that? But that's such a good piece of advice, especially like, if you stay out of drama,
it's easy to get sucked into.
Yeah.
I just in my head automatically write that person off. Like, I'll be nice, but like, you can't. You get to a certain level.
Yeah.
I'm like, and that's it. But I don't know. Facebook should be for talking about January 6th, the elections, and funny things. That's it. And like family events.
I would agree.
All right.
I would agree.
But yeah.
I know we're at an hour. Are we?
Yeah, we're at an hour.
Doing our. I'm blanking on the name. But are we?
Girl talk? Do you have anything that really pisses you off you want to talk about? We don't have to do it. That could be like a more of like a every once in a while segment to make it more fun. Like, because there's been a couple times
I already have the hair for it.
I feel like
you do. Fuck.
If we're not organically mad about something, it's not.
No need to force it.
Yeah, it's forced. So if there's anything you're really mad at, we can.
Is there anything I'm really mad at right now? I'm actually. I don't know. I'm pretty good right now. I'm trying to think. There's got to be something I'm pissed at. I'm not mad. I'm just like envious of like. That's probably the most recent. Like, you ever see something like, oh, what the fuck? They're at that room doing this, and I'm not. Like, just jealousy and envy. I'm not mad. I'm like, and I just remind myself. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
Try to run your own race, put your blinders on, but it's tough for sure.
Yeah, I that's my biggest problem with comedy and shiz. I find myself always like I'm easily jealous. I'm easily like envious. Like, even if everything's going well for me, I'm like, but that one thing I want, how come I don't have it?
Yeah.
I got really envious recently. So I've never been like a huge fan of my name. Like, I love my last name. Sharp is awesome. But Gareth, like Gary, I've never really been a huge fan of that. And then there was that kid, he's like an athlete, he's a senior in high school, he's going to West Virginia. His name is Noah Kaniga. Have you guys seen this?
No.
I've been pronouncing it wrong this whole time.
So his name is Noah Kaniga. His last name is spelled Knigga.
It's a light A or a hard A?
What do you mean?
It depends if I'm pronouncing it.
Yeah.
He is.
And so people have been mispronouncing it left and right.
Yeah.
They've just been saying Knigga.
Dude, that's funny. I think it was RG3. Robert Griffin had a funny.
Oh, yeah. He's like, this nigga plays basketball too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's a tough last name.
Just change your name, dude. I mean, I don't know. Is that? I guess there's a whole family history there, but
you got to pay for money for that. But
you're but like, for generations.
Especially like as a white dude. Like if you're like a black dude, you could kind of roll with it.
How has nobody ever been like, yeah, I'm gonna just change this?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of teachers like, oh boy, all right.
Yeah. The fucking
Paul Keller, John Kowalski.
Sportscasters have been struggling, dude. Yeah. The commentators.
There's going to be some slips.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But
let's all say the N word on 3.
One, two. But I'm just talking shit. Yeah, I don't have anything, man. I've been pretty happy recently.
Yeah.
Me too.
Gotta admit. Hell yeah. Love that for us.
I'm close to killing myself, but aside from that, guys.
You've been working your ass off.
We did it. We did, man.
We're good.
Hell yeah.
Stan,
Rob,
thank you, brother.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You want to plug anything? We got, it'll probably come out in a couple weeks. Maybe anything for like February.
We'll get it out by like
plug something for February?
Thursday.
You could, my podcast too, and the Stink podcast.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You can listen to that. And what did it have in February? If you happen to be at Scranton Comedy Club February 17th,
fuck yeah,
in Scranton, PA, I'll be headlining that. So come out to that.
Valentine's Day headlining.
Is that Valentine's Day?
I mean, for the 14th. Yeah,
it's the 14th. Okay, you panicked because I already fucked up. I already did stand up on my wife's birthday, so I was like,
no, you thought you were doing it.
Oh wait, no, I am actually doing comedy Valentine's Day too. So
that's a lose.
Whatever.
Dude.
All right. Well, now that's good because now I need to think of an excuse for. Okay, great.
Well, look, hopefully you have a second wedding. I can actually go this time and I won't fuck it up, and that will be cool. So
first one was practice.
You know. So I knew there'd be another one. You fucked that up. No, I'm kidding. All right, cool. February 17th, Scranton Comedy Club.
Yep.
Good stuff. 2 in the Stink podcast. Listen to it.
Yep.
Jim, you got anything? What do you got?
No.
He's got a dick sucking appointment in 10 minutes is what he's got.
Yeah, we got your show coming up at Punchline. What is that, the 28th?
Punchline, January 28th. Hell yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Aside from that, a bunch of local bullshit, so good.
Cool, man. Come to Punchline, January 28th.
Sweet.
See you guys next week. Peace.